sprocket and this sprocket so we can get the chain up here where it needs to be. So behind the camera you can't see, I have a wrench. There's a hex on the camshaft, and I'm just going to hold it while I hopefully loosen this. Alright, so that should be locked in over there. Put this pipe on here. Let me wipe it off so I don't get any shit down in the engine. There we go. Alright, here we go. There it went. If at first you don't succeed, use a little bit of leverage. Okay. There comes this bolt. We have torque specs for this as well. That one came off a little better. As you see, the springs popped it back into place. I don't know if you caught it. So there is that one. I will have to clean the goop off that because it's all dried on there. And we'll slide this one off. And there. So now we take our magnet. And see, there is our timing chain. And it'll come like this once we get it where it needs to be. So we'll lay it like that. Okay. So I guess we'll go like this first. So our tooth is there. Let's make sure we're at top dead center still. On here. Let go over a little. There we go. That's about as close as we can get it. By the arroz. So now this, and I'll bring you around to the front in a minute and show you there is a white link on here. I don't know. I'll be able to get that on there though. Alright. Ouch. Let me make sure my engine is at top dead center still to begin with. So basically all I'm doing right now is screwing in the crankshaft harmonic balancer bolt just so I can turn the engine a little bit. Look down the first hole. That took it away. I don't want to turn it too much. Here we go. That's going away. And right there is where it about feels like TDC. So there. Let me try this exhaust one again. So there, we're caught there. doesn't want to roll that one last. I might have to go and do a little more research on this too, gentlemen. These are all brand new parts as well. I don't think I'm anywhere near it. No, it's really close. We can wiggle the camshaft a little bit to get it there. I'll go give that a try. 'Cause that one wasn't really as close as it should have been. Let's see here. So I need to rotate it to my right, just a touch. There we go. That got it. We just had to get it rotated a little bit. That's all it took. Just that little bit. We'll get the bolt finger tied in there. Just so we don't pop it out. We don't lose. Oh, I'm going to put a little tiny dab of Loctite on there. I'm going to try the stick. I have fluid as well, but never used the stick before. I kind of, it looks interesting. Red Loctite 268, I guess. It's all gloppy. Throw this hard chunk away. There we go. It's probably pretty empty. It feels pretty light, so we'll just gack a little in there. Try it out and see where it ends up. This one's pretty close right here to the timing where it needs to be. So let's give it a try. I'm going to guess in between those two. Alright, gentlemen, so we did a little research and we found out that if you can see here, let me tilt my camera or my legs in on my camera so I can get us in close. As you can see, we have a bright link here and here. We have a mark there on the sprocket. So that means these two have to straddle. And I have them straddled. And you see, there's that. And you'll see how we fix that in a minute. And then there's another bright link. That's straddling. We have our crank at top dead center as shown by the key. I don't have the balancer on, but if the balancer was on, there would be a pointer that would point to here. I also did look down the spark plug hole and did a little, you could see the bolts in here, so that means, you know, I was messing around with it, making sure it's at TDC. And so we're all good. So the next thing I will show you is putting in the tensioner. But here is the tensioner body. I took the spring end out, and then you depress that little tiny plunger and then push this plunger in and it stays locked in. Once I put the other end in, which I will show you in a minute, then you'll see what it does. So basically, take this seal and we stick it on the body like so. It goes in this hole here. You just insert it and just start to screw it in. Got the seal right on there. I'll give it just a little extra than what the clicker says because that's an older gasket. And there. And that should do it. So the body is in. Now the next part that goes in, if you look, there is the cap that screws in the end, a spring, and a little tiny metal piece that goes into it. It pushes out that plunger. And this is a dual sort of thing. This will be a pain in the butt to get in, I bet. Maybe. We'll see. Without it flying out. Trying to get it lined up. And it already took up the tension in the chain. So, got that screwed in there. Let me see if there's a torque spec for that. Timing chain tensioner spring plug 16. Alright gentlemen, let's see what we get. We got our wrench set to 47, 46, 47 pounds. Got the wrench back here. Here we go. Trying to keep her from rotating. Let me give her a little twist back. I'll flip the switch. Where is the switch on this one? Oh, there it is. It's so tiny. Just so I can get the wrench in there. Nope, I'm loosening the bolt, so we will do it back the other way. Let me try going down a little bit here. That sounded bad, didn't it? Alright guys, I think I rolled the cams back a little bit. Got the wrench on the hex back here, and then I rolled it back so it is now abutting against the cylinder head itself. So we should be able to torque this now. Let's see. And there it went. Double check it. Indeed. That worked out smashingly. Where's our mark? There's our little mark. And if we can get our wrench off, we'll be in business. Okay, the wrench is caught. There went the torque wrench. One more little test. And a snug. There we go. Those are to torque. Now let's turn this one back. There we go. We're both at top dead center. As you can see, that little arrow and that mark lines up. Bring you over here. Where are you? Oh, don't want to get too much light on it for the glare. And that little mark and that arrow lines up. Our chain is nice and tight. And our crankshaft key is still at top dead center. Alright guys, so I turned it over a couple times, 3, 4, 5 times. As you notice, it's back at top dead center down here, but now the marks are gone. That's something with these engines, I don't know what it is. I was reading where you got to turn it over like a bazillion times to get it to all these little bright marks to come back. So if I could turn it over, I would assume that means it didn't sound like anything was hitting anything. I could get it turned over. It was a little stiff because there's brand new rings and stuff in there. But I think we did good. So, all right, guys, I went through and I removed. So what I did was I removed it, looked at it. There's just a little groove cut in each inner bolt, so oil can flow up, get into the bearing caps or the journal caps, whatever you want to call them, wherever you live, whatever you call them there. So there was a groove in each one of these. I should have checked the end ones down here where the camshaft sprockets are, but I didn't think of it then. I can't get to them, so 2, 4, 6, 8 out of the 10 were all good, so I'm gonna give the benefit of the doubt and say these two are good as well, and that the oil bolt is there and there on the inside. So all these rest of these ones down this way were good, so I'm gonna say those were good as well. So last night on the timing, the valve cover, put little dabs of the same sealant that the gasket maker that we used on the timing chain cover, and it looks like they're holding. I did flip it upside down and they didn't fall out, both of the gaskets. So I don't know if you can see, there's a dab there. They're just little tiny dabs here and there. So what we're going to do is try and get this cover on. Alright, so here we go, gentlemen. Let's give it a try. We're just snugging. Let me tilt the camera angle for you up now that we got it on. I think we only have like a few minutes left on our card. And we're using our little speedy wrench here. And we're just getting them snug because they have a torque spec and you have to go in a certain sequence. So we're just getting them sit down so the gasket won't fall out, stay in place till we get to that torque spec. So I won't bore you guys with me just snugging these all down. I'll get back to you when we're torquing. So talk to you soon, guys. That, let me hold the page. That is the tightening sequence for the valve cover. So we'll be going through and torquing it just like that. And I'll run through and get these torqued down. I'll do the first one or two, and then I won't bore you with the rest. So, looks like, and I have the book oriented the same way as the engine. So the first one will be right here. This is like 11 or 12 foot-pounds for torque on these. And there, that one's done. So it says to go to this one, then this corner, then back to this corner, then these two. It just goes all the way around. So I won't bore you with all of them, guys. I'm going to go through and get these 16, I believe, 12, 14, 15, yeah, 16 bolts, and I'll be right back. Alright, gentlemen, so we've been working on cleaning the bay because the car will come back in here tomorrow. Got the engine over here with the hoist out of the way. We'll take her off. Basically all I did in the interim is, you know, put on random shit like this housing here for the antifreeze. I believe that's the inlet thermostat housing, that's what it's called. Ugh, been a little tired. Over here I put the lifting bracket on. There's the eyelet for the lift. And the bracket underneath it that it attaches to. I can't put anything else really on the engine on this side because I won't be able to get the engine in. And that's the same for the timing end. I do have to remember to take this crankshaft or harmonic balancer bolt out because that won't let the engine go in as well. So other than that, that's pretty much all that is going on with it. So I will take this chain, hook it up to it, get it off the hoist, or I mean off the engine stand and onto the hoist, and then we'll just use this little ancient ass roller dolly that was around when I was a child of 5. So yeah, I think my mom used to keep plants on this or something. My dear old mum, she used to keep plants on it and things, and no, not those happy kind of plants either. You know, so yeah, we'll get her off the hoist, we'll get her onto the hoist here, and then roll the car in. We'll get rid of this engine stand here, have some more room, and then drop her in the old sobby wobby. So, talk to you later, gentlemen.